Welcome back to Where the Harrises. We got Shelby Harris, current NFL star, and we've got Chris Harris Jr., Super Bowl 50 champion, perennial Pro Bowler, and myself, Ryan Harris, champion Super Bowl 50. Fellas, the Broncos had an incredible win on the road. It was 18-15 at the end of the day. What did you make about the Broncos getting to squeeze out another W this season?
Man, the Broncos just did it again. They find a way. And I know people are going to have question marks after this win. Oh, CJ Stroud was hurt. You know, it was all these different factors that go into it. But guess what? They came out 1-0. And in the NFL, that's the only thing that matters. Those guys on the other side of the ball get paid too. Man, that Bronco defense, you got to give them credit, man. That Bronco defense finally is showing up. And, once again, it does not matter that CJ Stroud was out. PS2 was out too. You know, you had a big component of your defense that was out. So the Broncos were just as much struggling before the game as the Texans were. So they came out there and they actually came and responded. That team that actually responded. Another win that is going to help this team at the end of the season during crunch time.
You know, it's a huge road win. The Broncos have been very good on the road and pretty tight games lately, and that's what it takes to win and to make it far in the playoffs. You got to win these close games. And who cares if CJ Stroud was in or out? The Broncos still was able to handle business. In the NFL, everybody gets paid. Everybody has a job to do. So, David Mills is more than capable of beating a lot of NFL teams. And, I've been beaten by David Mills before. So I know that he's capable of beating, guys. So the Broncos was able to, go out there. Zach Allen still being a monster. Greenlaw being able to shut down the run. That's the difference, right? They can play run defense now. Completely made Nick Chubb and those guys, non-existent. I think they averaged like 2 yards per carry. And then they had the goal line stop. So, there's just a tougher team. Hufanga is just MVP right now. The defense, just way he's commanding everything and capping the defense and not letting everything get – there haven't been a lot of big plays. Right. You don't see a lot of people just run away from the Broncos, right? It's because the safeties are capping it. So I love what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. Offense, if we can get clicking a little bit faster earlier in the game. But I know we're missing Mims. He's a huge playmaker for us. But I think the Broncos are definitely in the right spot right now, feeling good. The Chiefs are struggling. The Chargers are struggling. So it's looking good for Denver.
The amazing thing, two things I want to say about that Broncos win. The first thing about that Broncos win is your defense won you the game in the first half with 2 red zone stands, and that first one was 1st and goal from the 2. I mean, you might not see a defense do that twice this year, and they did it twice in the same half. And then Talanoa Hufanga came in. I think he's having a Pro Bowl season. It is remarkable how good he is. He's always by the football. Dre Greenlaw, a.k.a. Hit Stick. Whoa. He is a difference maker, like you said, Chris. But let's give a little shout out to Chris Abrams-Drain. Everybody's talking about, Patrick Surtain's not playing, which, yes, you need Patrick Surtain. Nobody's saying that. But the next man up mentality, here comes Chris Abrams-Drain, and he smoked CJ Stroud with the best hit I've seen in a while. Shoulder to that sternum. Oh, ouch. I mean, that kind of thing. You hope that your young players come up, and when they get an opportunity, they step into it like that. They got to call the run more on the Broncos offense. They have to call the run. Somebody tell Sean Payton, call the run. It's free minutes, mobile to mobile. But they're in a great spot, as you guys said, and they're at the top of the AFC West. Let's go.
Man, that hit was spinal. I'm telling you, he felt that thing all through his body. You can just tell that hit made him feel in question coming out to play that day. But once again, we have to give credit to Vance Joseph. Another adjustment throughout the game. The team starting quarterback goes out. So you got to think the offense is going to change just a little bit. Held them to nothing but field goals. And times where the Texans were driving, and that defense came up with big stops all throughout the game. So once again, that Vance Joseph defense is so crucial to what this Broncos team does. They're playing some real good complimentary football, and they haven't even hit their peak yet. They haven't really even played complimentary football at the right time together. It's just that they've been playing off each other and being able to win. But once it all actually clicks, man, this team is going to be special. But as we move the second down, Man, something that I'm very familiar with is a trade. The trade deadline is coming up, guys. And we've already had a couple trades. My guy Draymond Jones getting sent off to the Ravens. He's got a couple teams doing a couple fire sales. Guys, is there any other trades that we might see? There's rumors. I keep hearing that. Well, one, I'm not gonna lie, I keep hearing my name in rumors. But then two, I keep hearing that the Broncos might be a team that might actually end up doing a blockbuster trade at the deadline. Chris, how are you feeling about that?
I think the Eagles, continue to get the rich gets richer, right? Being able to get Phillips, a guy that's played in Fangio's system and when he coached in Miami, and he's an excellent pass rusher at a position where they do need at, right? It's usually the Eagles have an overwhelming of pass rushers, but a lot of those guys had left and when got paid. So, to be able to bring Phillips, bring in Jair Alexander, even though he hadn't played too well, he didn't fit too good in the Ravens system, he might fit better with Vic, and adding him, that's another playmaker. So, and they do need some more corners. So I think the Eagles definitely won so far. Draymond Jones, I think going to Ravens, that's going to be a good fit for him, being able to, go to a winning atmosphere. I think, where was he at, Tennessee?
Because in Tennessee, and then don't forget about Luke Wilson from Cincinnati that came out Tuesday morning. Luke Wilson going to the Cowboys today too.
Yeah. But if the Broncos, I don't see them being a blockbuster. I don't know why they have them out there. I've seen them looking for a receiver, but, I just talking to Sean Payton, that's not his philosophy, right? He feel like he can get anybody open in his scheme and his system. So I don't see him making like big trades for, a receiver. So I don't know who would be out there that they're looking for right now. I think it's just getting their guys healthy. But right now you got to give it to the Eagles, being able to get Phillips, being able to steal him. That's how they're winning the trade deadline right now.
I think it's interesting too. This is a different trade deadline. I mean, before last weekend, I would have said, man, maybe the Steelers need to get on that trade deadline. Maybe the Browns need to get on that trade deadline. But all of a sudden, you get some performances. You're like, man, you could be 3-5 and still have a chance here now. So there's a lot of teams that in this last weekend just pulled themselves down. But if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm trading as much as I can to get more value back for the next draft. You are in a rebuild. You do not have a GM anymore. Fire their GM. You do not have a quarterback you can trust. You might not have a coach you can trust. So now's the time to get picks. If I'm at Miami, I am wholesaling. And for me, and if I'm the Broncos, I'm not doing anything. That is a great roster that loves each other, believes in themselves. Now, they may not have the veteran leadership you need, but you also don't want a veteran to come in and start stealing from the team and players to see that. So you really got to make the best decision for your chemistry on your roster. And that's why if I'm the Broncos, I'm staying pat. And if I'm the Dolphins, man, I can't wait to pick up the phone today.
I believe that a team that you will see actually be active that we really wouldn't expect, but they've had a rash of injuries lately that would make them have to rethink how they're going to do it in the trenches, is the Los Angeles Chargers. They are decimated on the O-line and D-line. They need help. They lost both their starting tackles, Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, to season-ending injuries. And that's a team that had postseason, thoughts and inhibitions before the season. So what are they going to do to fix the problems that kind of happened in the season? Because obviously, if there were that many great tackles in the league, they wouldn't be out there for trade rumors at this time. So there's only so much fixing, there's only so much you can put people into play right now and actually expect to be, competitive. But one thing I do expect the Broncos to do, I know this is crazy, and I've heard this rumor in the offseason, and people thought when you got Evan Ingram that was going to squash it all. But I have something for y'all. Kyle Pitts to the Broncos. And I think that would be the blockbuster that people wouldn't expect, but it's something that I think would make that offense and actually take it to a whole completely different level. We're having the two dynamic players like a Kyle Pitts and an Evan Ingram, but also having receivers, and it takes a little bit of that pressure off those younger receivers and allows them to just play a role and not have to expect to be a playmaker. So if we're going to look at a blockbuster trade, I'm saying it's going to be Kyle Pitts, but especially with the Falcons struggling the way they are, Kyle Pitts to the Broncos.
That would be a lethal offense. If you're able to keep Evan Ingram, you got two guys that can run post routes from the slot, right? Run post routes from the 3-point. So, I mean, and you guys know better than me. No defense is built to stop two tight ends now. You guys don't have that personnel. Yeah. So, and if you're Sean Payton, I think that's a great way to do it. I think that was one of the most impressive Patriots championships when they had Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, and we're just playing that 22 personnel. I mean, that's hard to beat. So, man, if you're Shelby Harris, future agent, he's got his ear on the street. Let's go.
Hey, always got to stay relevant, baby.
Okay, now we're going to third down, and 9 weeks into the season, who is the team to beat? Are these teams for real? We got the Broncos, the Colts, and the Pats 7-2, the Bills 6-2, the Eagles, Rams, Seattle, and the Bucks 6-2, and the Packers 5-1. What team do y'all think is for real and has the best chance to win it this season?
Hey, I know y'all saw that Seahawks team this week.
Ooh.
Man, that Seahawks team looks scary. Defense flying around. Sam Darnold, I don't want to say it, but looking like an MVP right now.
Come on, man.
Balling.
He's in the race.
Balling. He's in the race. I'm talking about balling. And then, come on now, the kid Jackson Smith and Jigba is over here playing at an all-pro level right now. This team, we haven't seen this type of offense come out of Seattle in a long time. And now they have the defense to match. And one thing I've always respected, even from my time in Seattle, they always have some of the best special teams in the league. But Michael Dixon is probably the best, one of the best, if not the best partner in the league. And then you have Jason Myers, always Mr. Consistent. This team is surprising a lot of people just because no one knew what to expect from Sam Darnold coming into Seattle. And now, man, they look unstoppable.
Shout out to Mike McDonald, who put together a great coaching staff. I mean, one of the things that fans don't see is that most coaches, they don't want former players around. They don't want a great coaching staff because they don't want to be challenged. Not Mike McDonald. He's got world champions in that locker room as a coaching staff, setting the example. And they got a lot of young – they got a lot of players – they have a lot of players who didn't have success somewhere else but know that they're good enough to be pros. I mean, what Sam Darnold's been through is a story that many NFL professionals know. And he's there to do the work. And in the post game, you hear him talking about, man, I'm happy to be a part of this team. It's fun to be a part of this team. And those are the kinds of things you need to win. So that's something where, to me, not only is Seattle real, but then you got the Arizona Cardinals turning things around over there now. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals, shout out to Jacoby Brissett, getting a bunch of production and an offense that was clearly stagnant for a different reason. But then to me, at the end of the day, the Bills show that they're ready to go toe-to-toe with the best in the AFC. So the Bills are the number one team to me right now. That's the team you got to beat.
I'm going to go with the Rams also. You know, the Rams playing good football. Matthew Stafford, he's probably up there in the MVP race also with 21, leading the league in touchdowns, 20-plus touchdowns and 2 picks. Mm-hmm. And throwing dots, lookers all over the field, very accurate. Williams in the run game has been very solid. Their defense has been very impressive. The Rams got a D-line now. They're coming off that edge. So I like what they're doing. They're definitely going to be a contender. But, in the AFC, it's tough, man. It's tough to go against, what the Bills are doing. The Chargers, like Shelby said, losing those 2 tackles, I think they're done. The Colts showed us that, if they had to go on the road and not playing that dome and it's kind of chilly, they might not be the team who we thought they are, going up there and playing the Steelers and getting killed. So it's still kind of up in the air, but I think the Broncos are for real in the AFC, and the Bills right now.
Hey, let's not forget, we just a week or 2 ago, we were singing the praises of the Colts. Oh, Indianapolis this, Indianapolis that. I didn't see anybody mention them boys this week after that performance they had against the Steelers. Man, Daniel Jones looked like Daniel Jones from New York. And I think a lot of people's enthusiasm with the Colts went away real quick the minute you saw Daniel Jones look like old Daniel Jones. And I'm here to say it won't happen again.
Yeah.
It won't happen again because that Colts team, they got bullied right there by the Steelers. The turnovers, they went like 3 straight drives with turnovers where it was a Daniel Jones strip sack. Daniel Jones interception to Peyton Wilson. It was just Daniel Jones has had one of those games where it was like, hey, we don't want that old guy here anymore. We need that new Danny Dimes all over again. And one thing that really to set that game off against the Steelers where the coach struggled, they didn't run the ball.
Hello,
They
where was
gave up
Taylor
on
at
running
that
the
whole
ball,
game?
and then you made Daniel Jones throw the ball 30-plus times again. You're not going to win. And so the Colts forgot who they were for a week. But I don't expect it to happen again because obviously they know their formula to success is to give Jonathan Taylor the ball. There was a time in that game I just saw him drop back and throw the ball at least 8 times straight, and when the game was close.
Yeah, that's illegal. That's illegal in football to do that. You got to run the ball every third play.
And that's the issue, though, is this they got too reliant on Daniel Jones, and that's what we saw happen all over again, that New York Giants mindset. And so, once again, Daniel Jones has made strides. We see who he has become, but we see how easy it is for him to come back and do it and come back and be the guy that he was before. So I think it was a reality check for that Indianapolis team. They played a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
A defense has been struggling. So they played a defense that had to find itself again, and they kind of they smacked Indiana in the mouth. And I expect them to be the team that we saw the first couple of weeks of the season, not this team that we saw against the Steelers.
And credit the Steelers. They had to turn their season around. They had to really put something together where they felt good, not only about the win, but about who they beat and how they did it. And leave it to Mike Tomlin, Hall of Fame coach, to come up with a defensive game plan to shock people back into acting like they're crazy. That's Shane Steichen, that's Danny Dimes, and honestly, that's Taylor too, because if you're not running the ball like that, that's on him to go tell the coach, hey, run the ball. And you can say some other words like that in the NFL. But can we give some credit to the Vikings too? Everybody left them for dead. What they go do? They just beat the Lions. That's it. I mean, come on, man. So you have some resurrection and you have some shocking losses in the same week, and it's all building up to a fantastic Week 10 in the NFL.
But is it over for the Bengals? Is it over for the Bengals right now? That team is imploding. You have offensive players literally in the media telling the defense, man, y'all suck. Y'all had to get one more stop. I've never seen something like that before.
Flacco had over 400. That's crazy. I mean, if Joe Flacco can come in and do that, I mean, you should have won the game now. Should have won the game. I just got to say that. I mean, do you agree? I mean, you guys are on defense. If my quarterback's throwing for 400 like that off the couch, hello.
I mean, it's just poor tackling, seeing the rookie Loveland, be able to do that to you. If you're a vet, and you're in that secondary, that has to be the worst feeling ever, right? We just let a rookie come down, and really a second-year quarterback, and then a rookie just come in and just win this game on us. As a secondary, that makes you that's going to make you feel bad, and that's why Jamar Chase is hot. What's the running back's name?
It's Brown.
Brown is hot. No telling what else was said in there, but. This has been the Bengals recipe, for the past 3 years, playing terrible defense. Secondary, I don't think they've drafted anybody. Have they drafted anybody in the secondary, that's been worth a while, So they have to reconstruct their defense, and they're kind of like the Cowboys, they're going to pay. They're spending so much money offensive heavy, right, that they forget their defense. And, teams are built different, and we can see the teams that are building kind of like how the Broncos, you have a young quarterback and you put them around a lot of vets. What's another good team that's doing it? Like Seattle doing it.
Yeah.
They got it. They didn't overpay a quarterback, but they paid him solid. Right? Donald's getting paid solid.
Jacksonville's in there too. Jacksonville,
No, but that's just what it is now. That's just what it is. That Bengals team played embarrassingly bad. Your offense puts up those type of stats. As a defender, that's unacceptable. I'm cussing everybody out on the sideline too. I'm just as mad too. And that's the thing. We only saw offensive players saying that. Defensive players should be the first ones being like, that's unacceptable. Yeah. And I think that's their problem. You know what I mean? Like, you only have the offensive players be like, that's unacceptable. The defensive players are like, we lost.
Man,
you know what I mean? And you can't have that. And then as we move the fourth down, we're pretty much at the mid-season point of the year, which means mid-season award. Fellas, let me hear. We got Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year / MVP. Obviously, you all know how that goes. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. And then don't forget Coach of the Year.
Go ahead, Chris.
That man brought out 5 different awards in one.
Get him down, yeah.
But I'm gonna go with let's go with Matthew Stafford, MVP. Right, just balling all year. Offensive player of the year. Let's go with Taylor, running back. Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. I think is he still leading the league in sacks?
Yes, he is.
Still being a problem on that Browns franchise. He's still making plays. Who else? What other positions?
Offensive rookie of the year.
Ooh, offensive rookie of the year.
It's not hard. Go to Tampa. You know who's supposed to win that one.
In Tampa, but he hadn't played in a couple weeks, right? I like what Dart is doing. I like what. I'm gonna have to go with Ibuka because when he was playing, he was number 1 receiver in the league at that time, right? Defensively, I haven't seen any rookie pop out yet. Defensively yet, I might have to go back and check the numbers, but
I haven't seen Cleveland.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Oh yeah, y'all do have a D tackle that can stop the run now.
No, I'm talking about the linebacker. I'm talking about the linebacker, Carson Switzinger.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out. But the rookies on defense haven't really popped out yet for me yet. Barron got a pick.
Hello,
right? We'll
take Barron in there.
We'll take that. We'll throw him in there. Coach of the year. Let's go with the coach.
Steichen.
Yeah, let's go with Coach Steichen. I think he's able to turn around their team. Moving on from Anthony Richardson, Irsay passing away, and then still taking control of the organization. I'm gonna go with Coach Steichen.
All right, man. Here we go for the MVP for me. Come on, give it to him. It's going to be one Lamar Jackson. I just think he's coming back. He's gonna go ham on everybody.
Hey, 3 games.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna come back, and he's gonna put a whooping on everybody. He heard about y'all. If not him, Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, you're in that conversation. Taylor was. You can't have a performance like that. You can't have poor leadership like that and allow them to not rush you the ball like that. So you got your way out of it. For offensive player of the year, ooh, man, that's a tough one. I mean, as much as everybody wants to talk about Matthew Stafford, how about Devontae Adams out there still killing it now? Let's give it to the vet. Let's give it to the vet who's still running them stem routes and getting some separation. Yeah. You know what I mean? For rookie of the year, it's got to be, to me, Abdul Carter. I saw him when he was in college. He is a premier pass rusher, and he is a tough player. And you guys know how tough it is for a rookie to play with strength on that defensive line. He's got some spin moves. He can do it all. Defensive player of the year, I got to go with Myles Garrett. You get 5 sacks in the game, man. You get it, man. And you still have helped your team. And that defense, you guys, Shelby now, conversely to a lot of other defenses, you actually give your team a chance to win the game with your defensive play. So I like him. But coach of the year's got to be Mike McDonald to me. Nobody believed in Sam Darnold. Nobody believed in half the coaches he had on his staff. And he's still out here just, leading the division. So, I mean, this is a phenomenal team. And we got to give credit to great coaches. We cannot stand bad coaches, and we know what they do to people's lives. But let me tell you what, good coaches like Mike McDonald, they get all the flowers. They get all the praise because they're doing it the right way, and their players are having fun.
Man, we all know bad coaches take checks out of players' pockets.
Ooh.
And I'm talking about, I've seen it all before. Bad coaches, man, they take years off of a player's career. But right now, we're going to have to go with this. MVP at this halfway moment is no one other than Matt Stafford. What he's doing. And I remember, if y'all look at episodes before this, go check it out. I have been singing the praises, and I've been telling people, watch out for this LA Rams team. A very complete team. Man, it's just a team that I'd be terrified of on offense with them having Devontae Adams and having Puka. But Puka's injured now. But once they all come back with the weapons they have, and then having Kyron Williams behind at running back, man, that offense is legit. But then also with the front seven that Rams team has, it's just going to make Matt Stafford's job a lot easier. And that's what you're going to see later in the season when these games get harder and harder. You're going to see that defense really come pull that Rams team and really propel them to the playoffs. Defensive player of the year, no other than Myles Garrett. We know that. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's not much that even needs to be said. Mr. Myles Lorenz Garrett will be the DPOY again. And so that's I'm excited to be a part of that personally. I think it's great to be on the field when I'm watching greatness. This man got 5 sacks, and I'm on the field for half of them.
Is his next gen stats legit?
Yeah, like I'm. You really, and I hate giving compliments. I'm not like Chris. You know me. I'm not a complimentary type of person. Myles Garrett, it's very rare when you see him lose a pass rush. I ask these people when we go to these joint practices, how many times you see Myles Garrett lose? You don't.
Ooh.
You don't.
Hey, man, I want to sleep tonight, Shelby. I'm still a tackler now. You can't.
You
know.
don't. But I will tell you this, and Denver Broncos country should be happy about this. One of the best people I ever see go against Myles, though, is Garrett Bowles. By far. By far. Garrett holds his own. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I got to go down to Tampa. Emeka Egbuka is the Offensive Player of the Year. No doubt. Even with him being hurt, the numbers he's put up, as a rookie, that's special. I really, especially with having Mike Evans down there and just coming in there and then just taking over. And you still have Chris Godwin. Don't forget about that. So you have ballers down there, and he's taking over. Defense Rookie of the Year, I'm gonna be selfish. We're going to Cleveland. Carson Switzinger, just watch the tape. I know, we talk about our record in Cleveland being what it is. Look at our number one of the top defenses in the league. A big part of that is this rookie linebacker from UCLA in the middle. I'm talking crazy. The guy doesn't make mistakes. He's the life. He's the brain of his defense. To be able to have that much information put on you as a young guy, it's very rare. It's very rare. And now, Offensive Player of the Year, obviously OPOY, whatever. Jonathan Taylor, no doubt. Mm-hmm. We know that Jonathan Taylor is the lifeblood of that Indianapolis Colts offense. That's it. Point blank simple. Coach of the Year, obviously, that you had a great choice with Mike McDonald, but you got to go Shane Steichen. For a team that had a QB battle to start the season, you don't expect them to be where they are today.
You're right.
Anytime you have a QB battle, you expect your team to be trash. You expect your team to really have to figure out, the defense is going to be the strong part of your team. And Indianapolis is the offense. So those are my picks for the mid-season awards. But man, so much can change in these next 8 weeks.
And we got to mention Calais Campbell too now. I mean, he's out here with the 21-year-old 401k plan out there on the NFL, making him go bankrupt. I mean, he's balling at an age that I can't believe it, man. So shout out to Calais Campbell as well. Well, that's this week's episode of Where the Harrises. Like, subscribe, share with friends, retweet, have fun with us. Send us your questions anytime you got them. And make sure to tune in next week for the best sports talk in football.